YouTube. This is Dr. Wanda. I want to thank everybody for all the congratulations for and the encouraging words for me having, acquired my residency. It is not an easy task as it appears to even to get the 1 year. They've made that actually a bit of a complicated process. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more with you about it because since I achieved that, I found out some more stuff. And these are things that are changing primarily due to the influx of African Americans to this country, but also, I shouldn't just say African Americans, diasporans, people coming here, but also because of changes with COVID. So some of the stuff I think was on the books, but wasn't necessarily being enforced. But now it is. But yes, you can get the residency. Okay. Now, what they're doing now, they've actually put a moratorium on approvals of residency. So I was very, very lucky that I actually got it because as of now, they're not actually approving residencies for a while. I'm not quite sure what the mindset is behind that, but I do know that to be fact. The other thing is they're asking for more pieces even when you go to extend your visa. So now they want you to take the COVID test. And if you take it to the residency level, they want a police report, they want some sort of medical records. Um, the cost for it is a little bit steeper. It's looking like because they're asking for these other artifacts, like 1,000 Ghana for the medical report, 1,000 for the police report. I'm not quite sure what they're looking for with that because if you're already in the country, you're already here, and then they would like your bank statement. So I will tell you, much of this I skirted. I most certainly didn't do a COVID test. I didn't turn in a police report. I didn't turn in any medical records. And the truth is, I think part of what helped me skirt it was that I had the letters from the officials in Livonia, sort of documenting um, the work and my character and what I've contributed since I've been here. When you go and you look at online and you look at the language, a lot of the language is about what are you bringing from what are you bringing to the table? What do you have to offer this country? How positive has your experience been here? That's what it looks more of like citizenship language, why they should approve citizenship. Um, I can be honest with you, it's turned into a money grab because the stuff that they're asking for to me is excessive, especially if you've already been here. I was asked, was I seeking a Ghanaian passport? Ultimately, I would love to have a Ghanaian passport, but before I can even get to that, I need to get the Ghana card. And that's something I talked about last time. I said, I'm really looking forward to the next step is applying for the Ghana card. Well, there's a caveat to that too. And so it turns out that yes, I can get my Ghana card and I have every intention on getting that as a form of identification in this country. And it will free me up from, using my passport and of course my US driver's license. I've pulled that out on occasion. But it turns out that the Ghana card that they're giving the diasporans is different from what they're giving the native. And what's happening is it has a chip in there that identifies you as a foreigner, and then that limits your ability to do to register your SIM card and to move about Momo money. Now I told you I'm working with a registered SIM card, but it's through my husband. Okay, and so I'm able to transfer money from my U.S. bank account or from any of the apps that I use onto my phone and go and extract money without going to the bank or going to an ATM without excessive fees, right? So to have your Momo money is far better than to not have your Momo. And that's part of the reason why even the natives are rushing to register to get the ID because you need the ID in order to register the SIM card because they're trying to streamline all this stuff. But they've put a glitch in there for us. They put a hiccup in there for us, which once it's identifies us as foreign, we're not able to use it to its fullest capacity, which is a problem. So I have to see are there some exceptions to the rule, and I'm definitely going to be diligent about that if there's someone I can talk to or there's another process, because that's going to limit me. Now, of course, I'm never just handicapped because I can always rely on my husband. But what I'm trying to do is be as independent and free flowing as possible because that's natural to me. So that's some of the stuff that I wanted to share with you about what's going on in this country. The fees have gone up for these processes, and of course, some of it's due to COVID, and some of it is just sort of a response to this influx of people where you can actually charge fees and make money by charging fees. I mean, the truth is um, that people do it, right? So we know that to be true. It doesn't taint my excitement about the residency. Um, Ultimately, I looked at the indefinite residency. You have the choice of indefinite, applying for that, or applying for citizenship. But even with the citizenship, it's extra hard. I mean, even if you're married, they want you to have on the books. The law says you need to live in the country at least 10 years. What has been fought for is to lower that down to 2 years. So that's better. That's a much, much more reasonable threshold. But you hear the 10 years and you say, wow, these are even people that's married. You don't really want us to be citizens here. You don't want, and of course, it's about politics and voting, and that has to be what it is. Something that I'm not the least bit obsessed with, but yeah, it's about the leverage of power because you would have, full protection and full rights under the Constitution that applies to, a naturalized citizen. So I'm actually most interested in indefinite residency where I can come back and forth freely and live here. The only thing is, I'm gonna say, what is the ultimate for someone that's transferring their life? Because I know a lot of people that's like, look, I'm thinking about moving there. Should I move there? What's going on? Okay. Here's the thing. If you can't get residency, or I should say indefinite residency, and ultimately citizenship, you're making yourself vulnerable if you buy land or you're building here, you're doing schools and doing all this massive donation. Because the thing is, at any given point, you can be told to exit the country. See, that's where all of these various statuses matter. You can be told to leave at the drop of a dime. It's over with. You need to go. So it's always better to secure the highest um, positioning in the country. The lowest, of course, is a visitor's visa because you get in 60 days. You gotta extend it. If you don't extend it, there's an extensive financial penalty. If folks are irritated with you, they can say I'm not extending it, and they can ask you to go. So I don't know. This is a larger discussion. There are groups, there are organizations here that are fighting diligently to help or sort of suggest to this country that they live by a code of honor. They did the year of return. They invited folks back. The folks are coming back, but they did it before they had actually flushed out all of the different challenges that will come when you invite people. I don't think they expect this many people to come. Now, I'm not a part of the year of the return. I was coming to the continent prior to any of that. And I actually don't even too much like to be associated with because it's so sort of, you know, associated. For me, it's like a big marketing um, scam, a big, just a whole bunch of hoopla not attached to the meat and potatoes of life here. So, I'm not in a crowd, don't party. I haven't, gone to any of the name change ceremonies or any of that. I'm not against any of it. I'm just saying I haven't done any of that. So I don't want to take credit for any of that. But I also want to understand what it's done. And what it's done is it kind of shifted how folks see all of these arrangements in their country. So that's the news. Yeah, there are some more pieces to the visa. You're going to have to renew your visa. You're going to have to take that COVID test. They may ask you if you try to take it a step further and pursue residency, a police report, a medical report. It's far more money. Bank statement. Yeah, that's a lot. Anyway, this is a FYI for you. And again, thank you for all the encouragement I got for my status. I'm very excited to get my 1 year residency, and I'm looking forward to pursuing more. Signing out.